And that is that you've got a lot of the, you've got a very clear structure, you've got a lot of information, but you're not doing as much to make it interesting to the audience as you should. The first section's all a list of ingredients. In another section, we've got a list of potential harms, and we don't get any examples or illustrations talking about these things. You mentioned at the beginning that you're talking about this for a personal reason. You're worried about your parents, for instance, and tell us a story about that kind of thing. My mom thinks she's drinking diet soda and she's going to help her lose weight, but here's what's happening, or here's a problem, or here's what I've read about, and she's not paying attention to these kinds. And make it a little bit more personable and interesting. If you've got somebody who has consumed a lot of soda as an illustration of some of those nervousness sorts of things, that would be a good illustration to talk about. It just seems like it's kind of like I've said it before, kind of an inventory of the greatest hits in that particular section instead of a speech. So it needs to be put together with a little bit more personality to it. Like I said, it is very well organized. It is on the brink of being a persuasive speech. We talked about that a little bit, I think you and I. Didn't we have this discussion when you talked about your topic? You don't remember? Okay, then maybe it was somebody who has a similar speech to yours that I'm a little concerned with, because it's almost on the brink of being persuasive, trying to convince us about how dangerous this is. Your evidence needs to be stronger on this point. There's a lot of stuff where the links are mostly assumed. You're reading studies, and the risk factors, for instance, are statistical risk factors. But I'm not exactly sure how consistent that is. The high fructose corn syrup issues, for instance, only apply to the regular sodas because there isn't any high fructose corn syrup in the diet sodas. That's where the aspartame is, and you've got very conclusionary statements about the aspartame too. It can cause blindness. I'm going, well, okay, then how many of the people who are drinking diet sodas every day are going blind? Is it a temporary blindness? What's the level of risk that's going on here? Somebody says it's a risk. Well, we need some kind of documentation on this that's a little bit more substantive. I thought that you integrated your visuals into the speech really nicely. You seem to think, well, here's something that's good to have in each spot. I think I might have had that section where you were talking about consumption. I might have put that earlier in the speech so we could talk about, here's a big problem and here are the things that come from people doing this, instead of, here are all these things that happen and now here's why it's such a big problem. I think it would flow a little bit more smoothly that way. All right, thank you.